What is going on, Guardians? It is Ebontis here, and we are going to be doing a solo Nightfall, trying to go for a no deaths, but also no guns, no bullets fired, basically, so just abilities only of your character. I'm going to start out with the Warlock. Does seem like the fun way to go, just because you have so many different options. Now, you guys know the Nightfall is the Shadow Thief Strike. We've got the Rainbow Burn, so Arc, Solar, and Void are all options. Ironclad, of course, a few enemies have shields, but they're really not that major. And then, of course, Daybreak, everything is cranked up to 11, making this a lot of fun. Now, for the Warlock build, I am going to be going with the Solar build, so Sunsinger. Now, you've got Radiance. I'm going to try not to use it if possible, more than anything else, just to see if I can do this with no deaths. And then Solar Grenades paired with Sunbreakers. Am I even saying that right? Yep. Sunbreakers, those things last forever, and as quick as you get them back, you can have 2 to 3 out at a time, pretty much just constantly melting just about everything. The other piece, of course, you want to make sure Touch of Flame and Viking Funeral are on, so you take more damage while affected by fire, and of course, all grenades ignite enemies. So all of those pieces basically pair together well, where you can kind of melt everything. Now, one thing that can save you occasionally is if anything gets close and you've got your flame shield up, get a little shield so you can survive just that one extra shot. Now, just so you guys know that I'm not going to use a gun, I have the Anguish of Driston, a shotgun, and a machine gun equipped. Maybe the machine gun would be alright, but the Anguish of Driston, probably my least favorite raid reward gun ever. No auto rifle should be this terrible. It's just bad. But outside of that, again, if you can get your discipline rank up to tier 5, you're going to get your grenades insanely quickly, and the fact that you get a double here, and you can throw them farther, just all good things all around. So, should be a lot of fun. Wanted to start out with this one. But before we jump in, I did want to let you guys know something. If you are shopping for thumbsticks, anything from Control Freak, check out controlfreak.com, and you can use code Ebontis to get 10% off your purchase. Now, when you guys do that, you can get anything from the Destiny 2 new thumbsticks. You can see right here the Ghosts. They've got new FIFA thumbsticks. They've got some Call of Duty ones. Honestly, if you use a PlayStation or an Xbox controller without thumbsticks, you're missing out. I've had them on my controllers for a long time now, and honestly, it's just one of those things that I really can't stand going without anymore, because the traction with your thumbs, in case you're getting a little sweaty, and just the level of the height of the thumbstick is actually more comfortable. So I really enjoy them. So if you guys want to pick up a little pair of those or anything else at Control Freak, they've got some grips for the controllers as well. All good things. Go to Control Freak, use code Ebontis for 10% off. So jump in there, do that. If you don't have them, promise you you're missing out. Now, we're going to jump into the Nightfall. Let's enjoy this thing. Hopefully I can do it with no deaths, and we'll see how it goes. Round 1, commencing. Alright, Guardians, so as soon as you load in, jump on into the strike and get running, not jumping. That's the key. Now, if you fall off these ledges, you'll wake one of them up, but if you come around this rock and just run, you won't. A single jump won't wake them up, but a double jump definitely will, just for proof. As soon as you do that double jump, those shriekers will wake. Now, why they wait that long, I don't know. Usually there's hive coming out of that little cave on the right hand side, so you can't go that direction. You have to fall off the ledge and kind of deal with one of them, but if you don't jump, then no big deal. And as you come around the corner, you know the Warlock in solar mode doesn't really have a super, so you're literally going to be frying everything with grenades. That's just how this entire strike is going to go down. So watch out for the wizard. They just fire quick, so be careful about that. If you can melt them down, it's usually a pretty good time. And then you're going to have the knights over here. Now, if you can cook those knights down, pretty much collect them together, they should fry pretty quick. And then from there, just head on over. Now, this next room, just main things you want to watch for. The minigun, it's going to see you, but you should be able to tag it once you get down here. Just make sure you keep that thing managed and unactive. If you don't manage it, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. Now, across the way, you're going to have ogres. You're going to have this wizard over here who is really hard to hit, but if you can fry that wizard down, that's probably one of the best things you can do early on. Not always the easiest thing, by the way, but it is possible if you can get a decent shot with a grenade. So you're trying to manage, you're trying to manage the wizard, which, again, as I said, not easy depending on the angle of your grenades, but also trying to manage these ogres, which can start to melt you. Now, as you can also hear, the minigun's starting to pick back up, so definitely keep that thing in check. And look for those ogres. Now, if you can get a direct hit on the ogre, he should melt down fairly quickly, because he takes extra damage. Keep cooking down. See, he takes one grenade to knock down. Harder one, of course, to tag is that wizard. I think I actually got a score shot on him. Wizard is down, one more ogre. I know he's in the room, there he is. Ooh, he hurts. So watch him, be very careful. Trying not to die, of course. Seeing if I can cook him down. Put that one down there for him. Okay, ogre is down. Now, the last thing you need to manage, since it looks like most of the room killed each other, you got a couple of miniguns up here. You want to take each one of them out so you can get a fresh run at the Once they're all down, you can take this thing out or you can hop over it either way, but just come on through and we're good. You can take about 3 minutes in that room, should be reasonable. It's taking a little more, a little less, but 3 minutes is usually pretty solid. Now, from here, as you come up the ramp, come around the corner, and now you can just have a lot of fun. There's nothing in here that should really just kill you. There's one Vandal back there that's a little annoying. You're going to have this guy over here on this side. Keep throwing the grenades as quick as you can, especially with this guy with his shield. If you can keep him kind of stunned in some way, shape, fashion, or form, he's going to try and teleport back and forth, but if you can melt him down, it's just going to make it a lot easier. Now, as you kill enough of these guys, you're going to eventually pull some melee guys in. So watch when you get down to 1 or 2 enemies, and just be careful about that. Now, back there behind that, which is what I'm going for, is actually a Vandal. Now, he's a major Vandal. When he goes down, then the rest of the room gets to be fairly simple. Once you get down to about 1 enemy left, be careful, because some enemies are going to spawn in. So if I kill that guy, kill this guy, here they come. So if you can hit one of these guys square in the face and just kind of lock off this area in front of you, a lot of the enemies are going to be coming down this ramp, so the more that you can basically line up to get tagged as they come right out of that teleporter, the quicker you can make this process just to keep them all kind of at bay. They're all just going to run out and melt, so try and keep hitting that entrance area as they walk through, and just throw those grenades as much as you can. As they come out, they don't really have much of a choice but to get cooked, so just keep that in check. Once you get most of them down, looks like I've got one straggler out here. I've also got Taniks coming in. Bad news all around if one of those scorch shots hits you. And again, be careful. At this point, save your super if you're going, you know, I'm going for no deaths if possible. But basically what you're just trying to do is continually watch him wherever he's at and tag him with those grenades. Now, if he goes direct, like right over here to the left, just be careful when you peek out. Try and get that shot on him early, as opposed to trying to take that direct shot. Now, sometimes you might take one, but again, watch your health. If you take one direct shot, it's going to be painful. So just be very, very careful with that, and you should be alright. Again, he's usually got 3 spaces, one out in front. His Scorch Cannon hurts like crazy, though, so be careful with that. He's got one there behind the rock, and he's usually got one right here on this side. So again, if you take a shot, just back off. He's still going to sit there and cook for a while. Not nearly that bad. If he's out in the middle, he could be running across to the side. He's only got a few major spaces he goes to. Now, the advantage of solar grenades is that they cook, but they won't instantly vaporize you. Now, if you go Void, you're going to be going Scatter Grenades and Void Bomb. And while Void Bomb is great, Scatter Grenades, they seem to be able to get shot out of the air between the Vandals and also Taniks. And I've actually had them explode right in front of me and nearly kill me. So that's why if you're trying to go for a safer run, obviously you have Radiance, of course, that one's going to be coming up a lot, so it saves you a bunch. But even without that, if you're just, you know, going for a build where you just have more grenades when you pop it, just so you can use that more frequently, honestly, still probably go with solar, because it's just the one that you're not going to kill yourself, and it just seems a little bit safer. You've got the shield when you need it. Pretty much all good things there. So just watch that. Those guys should be able to come out. These guys are going to be coming out the door down here. So if you can fry a couple of these, might be a reasonable time to actually throw. Now, watch the grenades as they come out. Throw as much as you can down in that bottom area, all around, just to cook. And then as Taniks comes up here, back off pretty quick so he doesn't take you out. Now, at this point, usually what I like to do if he's focused on one side of the doorway, just hover on over, and then just kind of mix your sides of the doorway. He's going to be on this upper level, so just throw those grenades out, and he's going to slowly work back and forth in the room. Wherever he's at, just keep working him. The direct hits are pretty solid. They're about 7,000, so keep those going as frequently as possible. But again, the nice thing about this is if I hit a wall with this grenade, it's not going to kill me. It'll hurt, but it's not going to kill me. The scatter grenade, I've killed myself with just one grenade. Slightly powerful, and unfortunately just messes your day up. Now, as you can see how much I'm doing damage to him, he's just going to be around. I was able to actually tag the enemies down below, so I don't have a whole lot of additional enemies that are getting me. Once he goes to this lower level, you will start to have more enemies. You're going to have some Vandals, you're going to have some Shanks that come up, a lot of things that come up these stairs that are going to be painful. So clear out this first wave that tries to come get you, and then you're still going to have Taniks down below. You're going to have some guys that come in the back, some more Vandals, things like that. So you really got to get a pretty long throw down there to actually tag Taniks. And just be careful if you need to hide and you don't have too many more enemies left, and just hide back here. And just keep pushing up when you've got those grenades, trying to get those shots on Taniks. Again, he's pretty slowly moving around the room. He's not the fastest guy in the world, apparently, so just keep throwing those, and then once he finally leaves, then he's immune, so here we go. Lucky enough, this one went pretty well, that I was able to stay ahead of most of the enemies. Don't really have too much to worry about. Now, this next room, you can go really quick. Now, you are going to have some dregs that come in. You can also just cook them all down right here. When he leaves, they're going to be coming in. I was a little preemptive on that one, but they're still good. Now, I'm not going to use the Scorch Cannon, but honestly, if you can, come over here, kill this guy first, and you're going to have so many Scorch Cannons that you can use. See if I can not die here. The Scorch Cannons are one of the best things you can use on the tank. You can basically kill the tank in about 2 Scorch Cannons. Pretty much when you use your Scorch Cannon, you just want to tag basically the top of like the turret area, and the explosion seems to hit a lot of things around it very well. So I've taken the tank from like full down to basically, I don't know, 1/5 or 1/4 health just by doing it. Now I'm not going to use it right here, but I will try and put up another clip separate so you guys can see just the effectiveness of the Scorch Cannon by itself. It's just so effective, it's crazy. Now first things first, you want to manage these guys off to your right hand side. You don't want a Scorch Cannon guy shooting you in the back, so take out the Scorch Captain, he's going to be over there. You'll see when that thing drops. Now if you want to take out one of these guys, I'm not going to use the tank, but just for entertainment's sake you can use that. And again, you see the damage you get on the Captain. Again, it's 1 bullet, but you know, I could sit there and cook them with my grenades. But it's just kind of fun to hold on to the Scorch Cannon. A little bit of first person view is kind of fun. You could literally just sit back here and just throw grenades like the entire time. Now if you want to hold on your super for survival sake, you could. If I want to just sit here and chuck grenades until I'm blue in the face, I can just throw them out on top of him and just throw them until I cannot literally do anything anymore. Now he's going to be continuing to take damage. He's going to be open. Watch as more enemies come out. The more damage you do, you're going to have a lot of enemies that come your way. And Exploder Shanks are apparently all coming to me this way. Well, that was cute. I've never had them all come out of that door before, but I'm not going to argue. I think the tank is actually down. So, is it actually down? Tank is down. That is crazy. That's almost faster than the Scorch Cannon because I didn't have to wait. Well, go Super Fire. That was pretty awesome. So yeah, again, Solar Warlock proving its use in here. Kind of insane, honestly. That's one of the fastest I've done it. And that wasn't even hardly using the Scorch Cannon. Scorch Cannon's quick, but damn. Use your super. If you die, of course. But honestly, if you want to go for the difference of getting more like faster cooldowns and have it go even quicker, you can probably barely throw it fast enough when your super's up. So reduce incoming damage. If you want to go Radiant Skin, you could do that one. Still not going to use the Scorch Cannon, but if you guys ever want to here, it's a great place for it. Now, if you guys want to actually start out, I'm going to try it again here. I'm going to try and throw as many grenades down here as I can to get going. Then I'm going to cross the doorway and then try and have him come into that fire so he takes all the damage I can get on him without firing that Scorch Cannon. See how much damage I can get on him before he teleports. Still burning up. Picking the Scorch Cannon back up for fun. Now you might have a couple dregs here. They're probably going to melt. Now depending on how far you've gotten him to teleport, you may have some enemies coming. So I didn't quite finish him off there. So watch him, but if you've got a shield, he's going to have some more enemies coming. Now the Vandals are going to keep coming. That's part of the problem. So they're going to keep coming, so you really want to push around this corner. Get at least one grenade on him so you can push him around. If you got Shanks, he's sitting right here in front. If you got Vandals, he's one tier around. And if you got nothing, then just keep running. He'll be waiting for you. Now again, same principle here. You can just use your grenades and honestly just flood him with solar damage. Keeping that Scorch Cannon just for fun. But honestly, just keep throwing him up there if you get the direct hits. Now if you want some cover, you can literally just stand behind this cover right here and just keep throwing those grenades. One after the other. He's usually going to be up and around there. You shouldn't be creeping too far behind the wall. Now if you did go behind the wall and you didn't get enough damage on him, just watch for where he's at. He's going to be creeping around the other side. Be very careful if you get a direct hit. One, if it doesn't kill you, it's probably going to get pretty close. He's probably going to creep around to the other side, so try and hit that upper deck as he comes in. Once you do enough damage, he's going to pretty much teleport on top of me. So if you feel like you get a couple good tags on him, and you want to switch sides, just like that's pretty good timing, say he is empowered. Now from here, you want to basically light this doorway up in the back that was just to your left, because all the enemies are going to be coming out of there. So Taniks will slowly creep up over to you, but as all the enemies come up, you want to keep them basically in check. Now if you get a straggler coming up like this, that's fine, but again, trying to keep that doorway locked up is a really good way to keep this whole area safe. Now if Taniks pushes up, just watch the doorway again. Still keep those grenades going back there if possible. Just watch him as he comes out. And again, just try to melt everything you can as it comes out of that doorway. The more things that die, the less things that are going to get away from you, so you really can't, you know, pretty much get overwhelmed. And then when you go exploring for different sides or different angles for the SIVA clusters, you're not going to have a random Vandal. Now, if you don't get all the Vandals as they come out, be careful. You might have a couple on this upper deck, so if you're coming up here like I am to kill out the Siva clusters, check up here, maybe from the lower level, just to make sure you kind of have a safe area to throw from. Throwing up here in the back. Trying to thread the needle back there for that shot, and one more, thread the needle. Looks like I got them all. Now from here, wait. When you see his power fades, you've taken out all the Siva clusters. Come around the corner, he's just going to be around, kind of creeping where you were. And just start throwing these grenades. Let him walk into them if you can. Keep throwing the grenades as he runs around. And at some point, he's just going to take enough damage and again teleport off. When he does, listen for that audio cue. You can hear him coming behind you. And then next, you're going to have a whole bunch of guys coming. Now, you got more Siva clusters coming, so if you want to go for them right now, it's not a terrible time to go for it. They're sometimes hard to get to, but again, some good long throws back there. That was even an overshot. But you got a couple different ones around. You're going to have a lot of Vandals, and also a lot of Servitors. Now, the Servitors take a while to kill, but as they do tend to group up, they will do it nicely, and sometimes you get them to walk into all your fire grenades. If you want to just blind fire, you can even do that. Sometimes you'll hit something. But pretty much just keep throwing grenades constantly. There's going to be a lot of enemies out. Plenty of stuff to kill. A lot of them like to group up here, honestly, right over on this side. So just keep throwing these grenades out. You'll get a lot of things killed, and just keep chilling as it goes. That was kind of a terrible grenade throw. And again, you'll have some stragglers like this guy way over here. Try and fry him down. You'll have basically two waves, really. Sometimes they come out together, sometimes they teleport around, and it's kind of hard to tell. But it seems like two major waves of enemies, so just keep throwing those grenades out. Now, if you want to pop your super here and you feel pretty solid about staying alive, you probably are pretty safe to do it. This is one of the few times I probably would. But in general, here is where basically your main focus is going to be knocking out those servitors, trying to continue to cook them down where possible. Not always easy to do, as these guys kind of wander around. It's always kind of hard to figure out where they're going to be teleporting to. And as you throw, occasionally, if you don't have a great shot on one thing, go for the Siva clusters. I wouldn't do too much damage to Taniks, just because when his power fades, you don't want all the enemies coming out too quickly that you can't manage the next wave. Looks like I got a pretty good grenade toss in the back there. Alright, his power fades, so now I can do damage to him. So at this point, I would try and, keep that double grenade up so you can just kind of hover this upper platform. He's really not too bad, especially if you're above. He really can't shoot you from the angle he wants to up here. But if you are up here, he can teleport literally on top of your head. So you can get some damage up there, but be careful you do too much damage and you're not really going to be able to manage him, because he's going to teleport on your head. He's going to be down here finally towards the end. So remember, here he can tag you, so be careful. But if you throw a few grenades over there, kind of cook him in the corner, but stay above, he's eventually going to teleport up to the top. Now, you got a couple options to fight him in this final phase. I don't like to do it from up here, but you just have the elevation so you can get some damage on him. I kind of like fighting him. He's going to be in the middle. I honestly kind of like fighting him from back here. I've got a decent amount of cover. I've got some space as enemies come out. And as things go, it's kind of reasonable, because you're going to have some Exploder Shanks. So wait a little bit on the enemies to come out. It's one of those things that's patience is a virtue on this section, because you're going to have regular Shanks and Exploder Shanks. And the Exploder Shanks, you want to make sure you have a grenade up. If they get close, you really want to be able to throw. But the other thing you need to watch out for is the invisible guys. Now, they're going to be around, so be careful. But look for the Shanks, look for the Exploder Shanks. So right over here, you're going to have these Vandals coming in. You want a little extra boost? Just go for that punch shield. Now again, keep watching, watch for the Shanks, and just hover over here in the back again. Now from this point, you're going to have a couple Siva clusters. Some are easy to get to, some are really not. You're going to just need a couple different angles around the map to get to them all. But keep that extra grenade up. Now he seems to be blocking one of those pretty damn well right now. Now, there are Exploder Shanks, but they could be across the way, so be careful. If you think you're relatively safe, you might not be. So then, again, keep that grenade up, because you never quite know what's around the corner. This guy right here was just kind of roaming around. If you stay on one side, it does seem to be reasonable, but watch for the invisible guys. One's right on me over here. So literally, he should probably cook down. So I'm safe there. There are Exploder Shanks still out there. So that's the hard one to watch for. So you're going to have to move around a little bit to be able to hit all of the clusters. Some are easier to hit than others. This last one around the corner can be a little hard to tag. Does look like I got it, though. His power is actually going to fade at this point. Now, there are going to be no more enemies. So make sure you're in cover. Those are the ones I'm talking about. Watch those Exploder Shanks. Be very, very careful. But at this point, I can actually start damaging the boss. keep an eye on your radar for the shanks that are in themselves. That's really the main thing that's going to kill you. But if you can actually chunk these like over the wall, you're going to be pretty safe to do so. But again, I would probably not pop your super yet, in case you do worry about a couple shanks being around or anything along those lines. He's off to the side over here, just keep throwing. He's going to wander, so he's going to probably head back to this side. I'll try and land him up on the platform up there. Now, the Exploder Shanks, there was probably a couple, but there's honestly a few probably running around the other side of the map that will dissipate. When I kill them, I'm going to try and move around so you can actually see where those are at. And again, if you can just need to go for that chunk. Here we go, right here again in the middle. Our Exploder Shank is down there in the middle, so be careful. They'll dissipate in the end, but don't let them kind of trap you as we go. Yeah, pretty smooth run right there, guys. Not too shabby. Apparently simply perfect. I'll take it. No deaths, clean run. All grenades all the time. Now, if you're going with Solar and you want to use Radiance, obviously you can just have a few more grenades to throw. But you can also just, you know, save yourself from the death. So, overall, pretty good run. As always, guys, follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/Ebontis, on twitch.tv/Ebontis. You can always see me do this live. And on YouTube, subscribe. Hit that alert bell when you subscribe so you know when new videos come out. Things like this always can be fun to do on the weekends. I've already done the Nightfall, so no real awards. So thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you soon, and check out any of my other videos. Check out the other classes. Solo Nightfall runs with guns, and then this week we're also doing them with no guns. So on to the next character. You can check that one out. I'll put a couple links to the other classes up here. So enjoy, and I will see you guys soon. As always, thank you for all the support. Have a good one.